here. Roy's on the phone with me. Roy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm indeed. I'm doing very well, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. He's on the Skype, rather, with me. Fred's right over there. Fred, how you doing, buddy? Whoa, Fred, dude. You might want to put a Band-Aid on that. Fred's our Dungeons & Dragons player over there. There you go. Got plus 11 hit points. So you're doing good. I'm doing okay. I got a little cough yesterday. I'm like, what's going on? I've been isolating. Who's in me? Who's in me right now? Is that the virus?
No, isolating from all that oxygen that carries natural stuff around in it.
Yeah, it better not be the Rona. I'm like, are you kidding me? The other thing is that there's a cat that's been breaking into our house on a regular basis. We have a sliding glass door that we and so the layout of the house, we've got a kind of a main home. Karen and I live in that. We have then 2 container homes we built off to the side. The kids live over in those spaces. They're right nearby within walking distance. But we leave the sliding glass door unlocked so the kids can get in, and the cats can open the sliding glass door.
Cunning little cat burglar.
Yeah, it's a cat burglar. Say hello to this beautiful lady right here, Karen Mangicotti. She's coming up here.
Hey, Karen.
Rory says, hi, Karen. How you doing? What's going on with you?
That's an interesting shirt design for this particular background.
That's crazy.
That's awesome. All right, let me switch back to here, right here. You're just too much. You're too much for the world right now.
You've eaten some coins there, Karen.
Yeah, we need some coins. You know, I got you covered on the coin space right there because we did this. We built this. You know, we do build some beautiful things on this show. We may not always do. Here, you want 20,
We did not build Karen, though.
22.99 gold. Can I get that to you there? Little cutie. Here it comes, raining from the sky. There you go, right there. You want more? Here's more.
Raining money.
Yeah.
I love this. This is like, I'm going to wear this when we do our show. This is how do you know how Mark Miller dances? Does your audience know how you dance?
Yeah,
We have a vague idea.
They got a pretty good idea. Oh yeah, that's cool. Although I look cooler than you for the first time.
I do.
Yeah, you're trying to make me look like a nerd or something.
No.
All right.
I can't do that.
All right. Say goodbye to Amazing Karen. She's going to go away for a little bit. She'll probably come back a little later and join us. You never know. She might join in with her mic. She might come in and just talk to us over there.
Maybe, yeah.
She's got stuff to do, Rory. Wait, what were you going to say, Rory?
No. I was just going to say welcome Codebase Alpha, obviously with the intro music there. Good to have you with us.
Yeah, good to have you with us, Codebase Alpha. I'm glad you're here. Let's get some music going because I like getting a little music in the background. Speaking of music, today I want to make what I call a thematic music player, and which is kind of the boombox we built over here is kind of inspiration for it. The boombox has several themes that we can switch to in the chat room. Like I can hit, for example, action, and there's the word action, and it'll say, Mr. Nessabot says, switching to action right after this song.
Yep.
And I can drop a meteor on it from the Code Rush logo up there. And then we should have something in the action genre. There you go. Like that. So we kind of have, the basis for the foundation of this. Oh, Karen? Can you close this door? We have the foundation for it, but this was based on a sprite. We actually did something incredibly clever when we wrote this, and we said, well, let's make the thing, let's make it fade in and fade out, and we just went and grabbed its alpha and used the alpha, which is going to be a number between 0 and 1. It's essentially its fade in or fade out multiplier. We got that and we multiplied that by the sound to fade the sound in and out as the sprite was fading in and out. So it's kind of clever. It's not too bad. Yeah. It also has a tremendously crazy bug, which is if you start dropping like 100 meteors on this all of a sudden right now in this few seconds, Karen, just leave. Seriously, she closed the door, left the little puppy in with me. Are we gonna do it? You drop a whole bunch. If you just do one, not a big deal. Here you go. You're going to demonstrate the bug. It's going to start several songs, I think. We saw this before with Surly. But I'm not hearing it now. try so hard to duplicate the bugs. Once it's duplicated, we got several songs playing at once, and we can't stop them.
Ah, yes.
Is it happening now? Now it's happening. There it is. And you can see several of them. We either got to wait for this cacophony to end, or I got to come in and refresh the drone game.
I love it. Codebase Alpha says this is known as the Surly effect.
I know.
I am in total agreement.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Let's refresh it. I'm hitting refresh, and it's not refreshing. Oh, there we go. I think it wasn't because so much stuff was going on, right? So,
yeah.
So there's a bug in that. So what I'm not going to go fix the bug today, but I was looking at the code, and I said, and I always get kind of like my apprehension goes up when I do this, but I can go my apprehension. So apprehension goes up when I say, okay, let's take this code and do something with it, essentially copy it and modify it. Apprehension goes way up because it's generally a bad thing to do. My apprehension goes down when I say things like, I will add a comment that says, that acknowledges the duplication in the code. And really, doggy, can we just be chill together, just you and me in this room, doggy? Hey, you're okay. You're okay. Yeah, I'm too high up to lift you, but there's some love right there in the form of my shoe. Yeah, not that exciting. All right. Do you remember where I was? What I was talking about?
You were talking about your level of apprehension, how it goes up and down with various different comments.
Yeah. So it goes down when I put the comment in the code. That, hey, there's duplication here, refactor it. Right?
Helping future you to understand the issue and thus deal with it better in the future.
Right. Give me 1 second, Ryan. I'm going to let this dog out. I'll be right back.
That's it. He's gone. I suspect dealing with that ickle puppy.
I'm coming back. Look at me. There we go. Nothing but professionalism here, kids. I got my earphones in. I can hear now.
That's good. Mark, the music that you have going to me, is there a possibility of reducing the volume just a little bit?
You bet, buddy. Yeah, you know what? I got a mark for you, and there's another mark for the Dungeons and Dragons kids. They wanted it up last night, and I was really kind of in conflict about the whole thing. I was trying to figure out exactly how to make it work, because I'm dealing with a couple different levels on different things.
Okay.
But I think I'll be able to figure it all out.
That's cool. How's that going, by the way? Is that working out fairly well? Is it going the way you'd hoped?
Sure. Yeah, I think in general, the piece that we're working on right now is for the show. It's so that the dungeon master can say, okay, here's a bittersweet moment. Here's a battle moment. In fact, when we go into battle, it's going to automatically change to the battle music. And when we leave battle, it'll change to a thematic group of songs, which I'm calling Travel and Town. It's essentially generic.
So this sounds almost like a playlist version of the intros that we've got. So at the moment you play a video on command when somebody shows up, perhaps. But this is you wanting to give somebody the ability to slip into a mood of some kind.
Well, I want the dungeon master to be able to control that mood.
Yeah.
And I want the dungeon master to be able to play sound effects as well. That's the other thing I want them to be able to do. And I'm going to give them that control because the dungeon masters are storytellers, right? And
indeed, yeah.
And the other thing too is we're doing comedy Dungeons and Dragons, and one of the things that can make for good comedy is an anchor point. An anchor point in reality, an anchor point in seriousness, where we get buy-in that we're in that space, and then the comedy can jump away from that, right?
Sure.
And so, like for example, if you look at news parody kinds of comedy shows, like in the United States, there's a show called The Daily Show that's been on for years, and John Oliver, who is from the UK, also does a show as well. And these shows have this anchor in the news, right? Where they, in the seriousness of the news. That's right.
It's kind of a social commentary with comedy.
Yeah. Yasmin says, hey, once again, tons of thanks, Rory. Is that because Yasmin got a free copy coders? I think that might be it. I'm not sure.
Could be. That was one of the recent ones.
Okay.
You are quite welcome.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Absolutely.
That's what we're here for, man. We're just chilling out, giving away copies of Code Rush, talking about building, writing code, and dog fooding Code Rush, during the day. Speaking of duplicated code, by the way, kids, Code Rush, next release version of it, I hope I'm not tipping my hand too much, will have duplicate code detection. Oops, I just spilled the beans. Duplicate code detection. It does not have consolidation. It's a really tricky problem to solve consolidation. And while we had done that already in Code Rush Classic, because it was built into Code Rush, we essentially weren't charging enough for the product to maintain the level of intensity that I think is required to really nail that, Rory. So solving that problem. So we'll probably solve that problem at another day, another time. But duplicate code consolidation is a solvable problem. It really is. It's just that there's, the demand for it. There's not a lot of people out there thinking, oh, I've got a duplicate code problem. One, not a lot of people think that they have that problem. And then two, if they have it, they generally come away just thinking, okay, the code is really in tough shape. I don't want to work on this code. I don't want to, they basically say the code is not worth repairing almost. Sometimes it might, or they just have to live with the problem. People generally aren't seeking out tools that help them in this regard. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, those are my thoughts on it right now. Free copies of Code Rush. Yeah, Cryptodor. You want one? Watch it. It's this easy. You just have to say free copy of Code Rush out here. And hold on, let me come out here. I'm going to do this like so flippin' fast. Yes, says Cryptodor. Give me a second. I'm just copying your name. Let's jump over to, there it is right there. Bring up, give me a second. I just want to get this out real quickly for Cryptodor. And we're going to give you instructions on how to reach out to Rory. Hold on, let me get a whisper up here. It's, what blows my mind, Rory, is how long it takes for Stream Manager to open up. And I think it's because it's got the stream preview. Do I have to be a new member? You don't have to be anything. You just have to say, hi, how's it going? Hold on,
we have a low bar here for getting a copy of Code Rush.
Yeah, it's that low. Here we go. Here comes your winning message into the there it is. It's sent to you, Cryptodor. Check your Twitch DMs right now.
Mm-hmm.
My audio volume's way down. It says Code Base Alpha. Let me adjust that. Thanks for the feedback on that. Check. Why is it so low? It's low here too. Wow. Okay. That's really interesting. I got to crank it way up here on my Zoom. H6. I don't know why it's so low. Hey, Karen Manchicati, just pro tip: if you ever lock the door, close the door, and you're leaving, make sure you take that little dog with you. The little one, the one that loves you so much and doesn't love me very much. I don't know why. I gave him love in the form of my shoe. I said, "Here's some love," and he was just like, "I didn't kick him. I just put my foot down near his nose so he could sniff it."
Oh, look, he wants in.
He wants in. I know.
I'm in here, so look.
Yeah, this dog is very attached. Now, it doesn't help that Karen's taught the dog to be attached to her by carrying it with her everywhere she goes, by taking the dog into the pool so the dog's super nervous but only gets safety when he's in her arms, by screaming at the dog whenever it's in my arms. Why did she do that? I don't know. Shoe love, right, says Codebase Alpha. Cryptodor says, thank you, I got it. Cool, send that email out to Rory, and then you're going to get some download instructions. It takes about a day, maybe, to get those to you, Cryptodor. So have some patience there. We'll get it out to you. You may get it today. And then watch the show and ask questions. Rory, can you give them a link to the Feature of the Week video series we made?
I can certainly do that, yep.
That Code Rush Feature of the Week video series that Rory's going to give you a link to is it's got about 50 or so features that we go into in depth. Each video is about 6 minutes long. It can help you learn and get up to speed with Code Rush quickly. So cool stuff. All right, let's hide that scroll.
And that's what we're doing on this show, basically, is we're code rushing dog food. That's not correct. We're dog fooding Code Rush.
Yeah.
We're going to show you how to use it, how to get the most out of it, how it makes your life easier, which is, of course, the main point of any tool.
Yeah, it's not bad. All right, overlays only. So right now I'm not running this, but this has got the overlays that I use, that I have here. By the way, Rory.
Yep.
On Sunday night, we did the Dragon Humper show.
Sure.
And for the first time, we did it on 2 machines successfully. And the first time I had tried to do 2 machines, we had a player that was going to show up late, and we were trying to set everything up, and so I couldn't set him up in time, so we backtracked out. And that was last Thursday night. But on Sunday night, we tried again. And as I was setting up, I realized, oops, I didn't do the OBS on the other machine. Because I wanted to get Twitch and OBS on the other machine, do some, so I was only sending one NDI signal because I was suspecting my NDI signals were the problem because I was sending NDI. I had like 5 or 6 1920 by 1080 NDI signals going across the network between machines. And I was like, I don't know, I didn't do any math on it, but I was thinking maybe that's the problem. So I'm in the middle of setup and I realized, oh no, I've only offloaded the Skype call and that's it. Well, not enough time to fix it. We're going to, in other words, I was still sending 6 individual NDI signals over. And I really hoped on the one machine to get 5 of those NDIs in, combine them into one, and send it over as one NDI over to the second machine. But as I was setting that up Thursday night, I noticed slowdowns were occurring. And I was like, why are we getting slowdowns? It didn't make sense. There was nothing mathematically that explained that. Anyway, I set it up, kind of not as designed on Sunday night, but it worked. And at the end, I was like, whoa, all I did is one thing. I offloaded the Skype call onto a second machine, which we saw was taking up like a fair amount of CPU, but apparently GPU as well.
That's insane.
It is insane. And so now
there's no way Skype should be messing with your GPU.
Yeah, well, I'm saying apparently. I did not go back and definitively verify that. But if we bring up right now, if we bring up my task manager and we take a look at what's going on, you won't see Skype anywhere in the top for the CPU. But in the past, we've seen it here. The reason why is Skype is not on this machine. Now realize Skype is sending. The GPU might make sense in the sense that Skype may be using the GPU to show the video, maybe. I don't know, to scale the video.
Yes, for you and me. Yeah, okay.
That might be why. At any rate,
send me your video, essentially.
We're seeing the lowest numbers we've ever seen here right now, right? 24% in OBS Studio.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
Yeah, let me come in and stress it. Let's stress it and watch how bad it gets, though. We'll come in here and say test all damage. So now we've got like, I don't know, 16 different dice out here rolling around. Oops, we got a stretching that just occurred. Sex positive. What's Sex Positive saying? Mr. Netsing says, Mark, hide your wallet. Sex Positive is here. Sex Positive says, Mark, hide your wallet.
I think you have to blame Mr. Announcer Guy. That clearly wasn't your fault, right?
It wasn't my fault. The puppy does not eat dog food. Are you kidding me with this gender stereotype? Yes. Karen, Mr. Announcer Guy doesn't know what our genders.
There's no genders in anything.
Mr. Announcer Guy is a bot. He would say the same thing if you were sitting here and I showed up to your show. Surly's fault, says Codebase Alpha. That might be true.
Yeah, it's possible.
Is Roy Mr. Announcer Guy? No. Mr. Announcer Guy is a bot. Mr. Announcer Guy says what he wants.
Don't be blaming me for anything.
Yeah. Roy's in trouble, says Sex Positive.
Story of my life.
Aaron, you want your mic on to jump in? You can talk.
My mic on.
You control whether you're muted or not, honey. You know that because our house runs by the patriarchy, I have that ability to mute you, young lady. Yes.
You can hear me with or without a mic.
To some extent, this is true.
Someone says, "Are you wearing your mic?" Because I just turned it on.
I'm wearing a mic.
It looks like it's hanging down. Is it on you?
I am so loud.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Karen is super loud.
Also, my children are so loud.
I would say that's true.
They were in a play recently, recently before the Rona, and they're the only ones you can hear.
That might be true. All right, let's do this. I'm going to do this stress test one more time, and let's watch the numbers above. See what we get. So we got, animation, 3D stuff happening, all kinds of stuff. We're not even breaking 30%. There's no sweat here. And we're streaming, right? I'm streaming from OBS. It's insane how low these numbers are compared
Last
to...
time that test was done, you had Karen's little introduction come up there as well. And even with all the other things going on at the same time, I didn't see it break 37 on the
cool.
CPU.
I did not notice that. I had my eyes...
That was the highest it went.
Yeah, I had my eyes on some other warped, distorted things. All right. So here's
that's big success. I mean, no two ways, right?
It is. Yeah, and it's crazy. It's just simply offloading the Skype call is the thing that makes this...
That's just mad, but hey, we'll take that, right?
Yeah, isn't it crazy? Yeah, it's absolutely mad. I agree with you. It wasn't anything I would have predicted. But, the same thing happened on, Sunday night. Sunday night, I had 5 different video feeds in here with green screens that were all on this machine being chroma keyed, right? On the main machine. Chroma keyed, streamed out, sent over to the second machine, all of that. I've got multiple sound cards, everything, and it all worked. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think we have finally solved this problem, it was a challenging problem to do, right? Nobody I know, nobody on the live coder team has done anything close to this, right? If anybody has multiple people on, it's almost never with green screens, right? They've got their own background. But the reason we got the green screens is for the special effects, right? Because like, for example, I might want to have some, gain some health, and I want to have this health spin around me. I can't do that if I don't have a green screen, right?
True.
All right, let's see if we can get some work done today. So anyway, that's the status of where we are. Let's see if we can write some code. Somewhere in here, I think Dragon Back Game, I've got a whole bunch of commented code out. And this is it. And you know what I want to do, Rory? I want to put it in its own file.
How's that?
Let's do 2 things. Gosh. All right, I'm going to cut it to the clipboard. Uncomment it out, cut it to the clipboard. Let's go in here. This is always a problem, adding a new file here, because I've got to make sure I get it in all the right places. Otherwise, we'll have things that'll break. So I want to go, let's see, we're going to put this in the game engine right here. And I guess I come in here and say new, add, new item. And it is a TS file. And I'm going to call it music player. Like that. I'm hearing crunching. What you got over there that you're crunching?
I don't have my thing anymore, right?
No, you're in. You're live. You took it off? I'll turn you off, though. I'll mute you over here. No, I'm just wondering, though, what are you eating, honey?
I'm eating Parmesan crisp.
Snacks.
You want to hear it?
Yeah, I guess. Those are, like, it used to be my favorite keto snack until I decided not to eat dairy anymore. All right, music player. Paste all that in. Okay. All right, baby, I'm muting you. You can chew away.
Did you hear me before?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to it, but it was probably Rory could, is my guess. I copied over the code, but it's not entirely finished. So we got to make some changes here to fix this.
So this is the copy of the music code, music player code.
This is the
that you're
boombox.
hoping to modify and turn into your sort of thematic music
Yeah,
control.
I made a couple changes to it. So before we had this call to get alpha, and that get alpha is gone because there's no, it's not a descendant of a sprite anymore. And instead, I took some code. Yeah, I know this is like to do consolidate duplication. with animated element, which I think has the same thing. So there's that. There's this right here. This one was changed substantially from the other is fading out. So basically I took those kinds of things that were the code we had done in the sprite, and I brought it in here and I redefined, I defined new pieces, these pieces right here, fade in time, fade out time, and expiration date. So we could do that. So initialize, we haven't changed this right here. We need to kind of do those changes. We can actually do those right now. These are the folders I have here for the thematic music pieces right here. And I've downloaded songs that are, here's some bittersweet songs. I've grabbed all the MP3s and I've just named them song all the way through here. By the way to do this easily is you select them all, hit F2. I can type in some other name like, you know, like N or something like that, hit enter, and then it's just going to go add the numbers all the way through for those. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So I just type in song.
So it knows that your rename is going to be applied to a whole selection of files, and the logical thing to do there is to suffix them with a numeric in brackets.
So we're going to, so the code that the Boombox uses is similar, because I didn't want to manually rename these as I was adding new songs, that sort of thing. And I discovered that Explorer would do this, and I'm like, okay, cool. So somewhere in here, if we search for like a paren, I bet we'll find it. Do I have that, or maybe in quotes? No paren. Oh, because I've got a regular expression on. Hold on. But it's this one. Let's go back here. No paren. No. And not even that one, I bet. Huh. How am I getting the numbers? Oh, you know what? I bet I'm not. Am I just getting... How do I get the name of the song? Play random song. File name is get file name, passing in an index. Oh, I see why my search didn't grab it.
So it's just everything in there.
Codebase Alpha says, oh boy, Surly Dev, you're in big trouble. Why Surly Dev? Because Codebase Alpha knows that Surly Dev was the one who maybe...
I knew it!
You want to come back in and tell... It's your mind?
Is Surly Dev on?
Surly Dev just showed up. Yeah. So Surly Dev, to give you some backstory here, Codebase Alpha shows up and types in something very innocuous and sweet. The puppy does not eat dog food. And then Mr. Announcer Guy says, Mark, hide your wallet. 6 positives here. And 6 positives is now like, what the heck? And Codebase Alpha says it's Surly's fault. He thinks that he's got some sort of proof that you were related to that. And so now you're in big trouble. It's got what happens, right? In, you know, when there's a dominant, assertive individual such as Karen Mangicotti in the room, someone's going to take the fall, right? Someone's going to take the fall. Oh, no, Shirley Deb. We're not talking. We don't speak the truth in the chat room.
Mark Miller.
Someone's got to take the fall for me. It's not going to be me. He's like, you edited my PR. You took all the surliness out. But that one must have slipped through the vetting. There might be some truth in that. I might have allowed it. Yeah, that was mine. Surly Deb said. I might have allowed it. I thought it was funny.
But you can't be responsible for policing everyone in the world, right?
Yeah.
It's not your fault that other people do bad things.
Yeah, that's right. Right, Karen? Do you agree with that? Did you hear what Roy said, Karen, or no? You've got your
It's your
earphones
fault
in.
that you do bad things.
Oh, she is
I did.
listening. She is listening.
What
All right.
bad things did he do? No.
Surly is now scapegoat dev. Yeah. Okay, so
Cool story, bro.
that was totally by accident. I just reached out and hit that by mistake, but it seems to fit. Bump back over here. Okay, so all right. So here's how we get it. We just pass in the word song. We've got the active genre, which is going to be the, and I think active genre is actually part of music player now. Instead of being the instance, I made it the music player. There we go. All right, cool. There's no more get instance though, right here. And we got to kind of figure out what's going on here. I created, what I did is, since I didn't want to have multiple music players, Rory, I
Yep.
created two fields here that were static.
Okay.
Next music player and this music player. Okay, so this is the one that's playing the current song, and the next one is for the next song. And next one, the idea is that the next music player is only going to be around until the first one is gone. In other words, we faded out the first song, in which case then we assign next
What
music
is it,
player
the
to
next
this one.
To this one, yeah.
And null out next one. That's kind of what we need to do. We haven't done that yet. But these two in play, now we want to come down here in this old get instance code. We want to instead come in here and we want to basically take this out into its own extracted method. Is what we want to do. So we want to do something like this. We want to say, hey, music player is equal to this. We comment out this line of code. And let's extract this. This is one of these, like that. I'm going to shut down Skype on my machine, Rory.
Yeah.
My machine number 1. Because Karen is having a conversation that I happen to be in a group in that Skype number 1, and it's giving me interruptions. So I'm quitting Skype now. But guess what? You and I are still talking because we're on machine number 2. Pretty cool, huh?
Absolutely crazy wizardry.
Yeah, it's cool.
It worketh.
All right, so here we go. We've got let music player is equal to the next one. Then we've got this code here, and this is the thing we're doing here. So stop suppressing volume is going to change the volume right there to whatever it is. The question is, do I want to do it with both players? I thought I was going to, and that's why I was on the path to extracting. But if I'm stop suppressing volume, and actually this whole idea of suppressing volume, to be honest, is kind of garbage. We don't need that. We only need it for the boombox. The boombox suppresses this volume. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill that code. The boombox suppresses volume and needs to be able to do that because things are playing. Oh, wait, we might be able to do that. Actually, I'm wrong. We'll keep it. Okay. So I am going to extract this. We need to do that for when things like, you know, we roll a wild magic like this. Or when sprinkles arrives like this. So we will need to suppress volume from the thematic player at times. So let's extract this into its own function. Ooh, look at that. I'm going to hit escape because that doesn't look good. And hit F2 again. Oh, did I lose Rory? Okay, you're there with me, Rory? Looks like, are we there or no? What's going on? What's Rory saying? There we go.
Ew.
Hey, buddy.
Skype decided it wasn't going to just die again. Not
It's-
sure quite what's up with it, to be honest, but there you go.
Hold on. It's telling me... hold on. I have 2 instances of Skype open. Hold on. Let me call you back on the other one.
Okay.
All right. How's this?
That's okay for me.
All right. How's Rory? Is Rory quiet still? Codebase Alpha?
I was very quiet for a little bit there as I lost connection altogether.
Sex Positive says, I have an online drama class tomorrow in art today. I have no idea what to do. Yes, Cryptodor says, yes, Rory's quiet. Why are you quiet? Hold on. Let's open up my settings on this.
Have you got different settings for my incoming stream, depending on which copy of Skype I come in on?
Maybe. Nope, it's jammed all the way to the top on this machine. Well, I've got individual volume control here, which I can try. Let's see, is there any other volume? Awesome. Yeah, there's no other volume piece here that I see on machine number 2. Switch back to machine number 1. Hold on, I do have a volume control on machine number 1 though. Talk again, Rory. How's this? Good.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
And how's Rory now? Oh, it certainly says Rory's okay. He's loud enough. How's the background music,
Okay, so-
Rory, for you?
Background music is fine for me.
Okay, good. All right.
So the question is, given all of Mark's tweaking, am I now at an okay volume for everybody, or am I too loud, too low? How are we doing? Still quiet for Codebase Alpha, but apparently was reasonable previously for Surly. Surly, am I still good? Can I be heard?
You sound good to me. Give me another check, Rory. 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1.
Maybe based on his voice to mic distance. Okay. All right. Everybody's saying better
It's
now.
a headset with static distance to my mouth.
That's what you think, but you don't really understand quantum physics, do you, Rory?
Oh, I see. Well, that's true.
So, all right. So I'm going to call this. What is this? This is just set player volume. Like that. Then I really want to just come in here like this and do this and then duplicate it. And let's get this music player on the top like that. Okay, so now we're close to, and we got to do something up here too. What's going on here? Volume, save volume, master volume.
Which is the save volume? So effectively it's just a temporary location to put the volume so that you can modify it and then restore. So actually that last one is more of a restore player volume, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. Right here, right? I love that name. Way better than my other one. That's.
Is it not the one underneath? Or am I maybe getting confused?
No.
Got a set player volume.
This is just simply setting it to whatever the. Oh, you're right. The save volume. You're right. Hold on. Let's make this restore volume and make this restore player volume.
Okay.
I love it. These are better names, Roy. Thank you. Yeah, naming is one of the hardest things here. Mark and Roy are equally loud.
Ooh, that's an interesting accusation.
Plantronics PLT Edge in my ear.
Surly's got all the tech going on.
Yeah, you know, I like Surly. He's a good guy. I've always liked Surly, by the way. He's been Surly. I've known him for I want to say 10 years. I don't think we've ever met in person. But I feel like I've known this guy, and even though he's Surly, he's actually does a large amount of good from what I can tell, right?
Fair enough.
And everybody's going to do it in their way, right? Surly does it
Sure.
in a Surly way. But I like him a lot. The guy is made a positive impact on the world, I think. I could be wrong. I don't know everything
Sounds
about everybody.
plausible.
He could be I don't know, juggling babies right now. I don't know what's going on over there at Surly's place. Could be.
They're probably having great fun with it, though, right?
He's like, fool, yeah. Yeah, well. Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time. I'm often like, oh my God, this is the best person I've ever met in my life. And then later they turn out to be a bad person. And Karen's like, don't do that. Stop it with that autism thing. Okay, so what are we doing here? We are, these used to be individual field variables, but now they're all, they're not. So this idea of saving is for sure we want to do that, but we don't have to do it based on an individual music player. So we can take that saving code and put it up here. There, like that.
So I've got a small question then. So we've got our existing music players, which are just pumping out some good tunes in this scenario. And what you're making here is a music player for a different purpose, thematic music essentially. But what you've done is you've extracted several of the things that were previously internal to an instance of a music player, and you're turning them into static fields so that the same values can essentially be used no matter what music player we're talking about.
Right, I'm doing that, and I'm limiting it to only 2 players for the purpose of doing the fade across, the crossfade. Right. I need to do the crossfade because the crossfade is awesome. I don't want to simply end a song, have there be a lot of silence, and then start a new song.
What confuses me is if volume is now essentially global, but static within the concept of music player, how can you lower one music player in order to play some other music? Won't they both have the same volume?
Well, you've got to actually set the volume. How can I lower? I think here's when
volume. I guess is volume a static as well? Or
volume
not?
is a static, yes, but the player has to update itself and change the volume of the song that's already being played. Does that make sense? So it's got to go out and make a change. So that's what's going on here. So the player's going to hold what song it's playing and the volume it's playing it at, and then when the volume changes, it'll go out and update those.
Okay.
I just wanted to hold on one second. I need to do a refresh here. Oh man, is that drop down? Really? Oh my God. OBS has got the strangest thing going on with the way it adjusts and moves elements around. Like I was going crazy Sunday night setting up for the show. Like, what is going on? And now it's just, I'm seeing more evidence of the same problem before, where my 1920 by 1080 piece is now 2014 by 133. And my only way to change that is to say, let's stretch it to bounds. And then now I can well, let me show you what I mean here. I was bringing up featured chat. Take a look at how compressed that looks. If I stretch this to the right size and position, we're good. But somehow OBS decided that the dimensions of this were different, and it does it across multiple scenes, and I've got like 200 scenes. So it's like I feel like I'm always catching up with the corruption that OBS sometimes introduces without me knowing it. And there's no undo in OBS. So
what you need is a way to reach out and use an API to sort of instruct a scene by saying, if you have a piece with this name, it should have this size.
Yeah, I don't really.
Sort of
Yeah. The problem is I really don't know what's happening on it. I really don't. But I'm making it just enough effort is going in to get it to work, and that's it.
Sure.
So save volume is static, but the individual instances, not now, please back it up. I didn't ask for this now. Roy, you're so lucky not to be dumped into that pudding later.
Phrases you never thought you'd hear.
This is why I get paid the big bucks, Roy, because I'm the guy that they're dumping the stuff on. I get the one swimming in the pudding.
That one line in your contract that says we'll be dumped in pudding once every 2 or 3 days.
Pudding, I'm so glad you're here. How you doing, buddy? Surly Dove says, Chef Brent will be able to help you diagnose that issue, Mark. Boy, I don't know. It's crazy. It's so crazy. And, I just go back, I fix it in one, and I go back and paste it into the other scenes. But it is not happy. I'm not happy with I am almost unhappy enough with OBS that I'm going to friggin' check out the code and fix it. That's about kind of where I'm at, right? I'm like, do I really
You're ready for that level of pain?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, right? I'm like, oh my God, I have to go in. How much effort is this going to take? It's actually probably going to be, because we're talking about retrofitting the command design pattern into an existing code base that I'm not familiar with at all. But holy cow. Yeah, I'm asking the question, right? Do I have the time to go do that? I don't have the time to go do that, but it's something that I'm upset by it, and I want them to at the very least watch our shows where we talked about command design pattern. Get the team over there. Okay, so now this part we can get rid of here, and let's set volume for active song. I want to see what's going on there. How do we determine the actual volume? This volume is Oh, interesting. It's just getting it from here. Okay. Active song.volume is where the actual volume for the song is. So it's almost like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't even think I want this code here, right here. I think what I want instead is code that's similar to these two right here, where I come in. I think I want to call this .set player. Wait, what's this? Set volume for instance. That's what I think I want. Does it take? Oh, it's not. What does it do? Set volume for active song. Yeah. Then it just comes right in here. Okay. Sorry, it's a little messy, it's a little jumbled right here. Show's gonna be awesome. Retro CRT is here. How you doing, Retro CRT? So retro. There's a line of code I copied. It was this one. Okay. All right. All right, so we got that now.
Okay.
So not bad. All right, let's figure out the initialize right here. And this is my static initializer, and I think I got a call down at the very end, right there. So in TypeScript, there are no static constructors, at least none that I'm aware of. So this is what I use to initialize. We need to add the songs. Let's go see what we got. We got Bittersweet. By the way, notice this is the folder. We're using the Sound Manager class we created before to play songs from the folder. And I'm creating a subfolder here called Bittersweet. We'll do that. And there are 27 songs.
Yep.
Battle. It's got 42 songs. Travel. It's got 34 songs. And I think I have one more that I finished. This one. I'm just going to select all, not select licenses, hit F2 to rename, type in song and hit enter. 60 songs in suspense. So I got 4 of these. Okay, here's my initialize. Now we got to go add music player to the to our HTML pages that need it. And those are up here in my pages, and I've got, I think, 3 that are important. Maybe not. I'm really only going to put this on the dragon back page, which is the index.
Okay.
It's the dragon back game. So we're going to call this music player. And I think that's, is that right? It's in game engine, actually. I need to put this up here. I think that's right. I think maybe I only have to do this because I'm only going to have the music player on the back overlay. I decided that's where I was going to put it. And so communication with it would happen through the back overlay. I don't know. Let's try a run. And I don't know if this is going to cause problems or not, but I've already got this, the overlays up and running. Actually, it probably won't run. I think I'm going to have to shut things down, as I recall. I've got these running standalone right now. In other words, this is my overlay manager right here, running in PowerShell, which I start before the shell.
Gotcha.
So I think this is going to block the other. I'm going to shut this down. And similarly, I'm going to shut down this one right here, which is also going to block it. Notice we're saving every 30 seconds, 48 and 18 seconds after the clock. I've got 10 seconds before the next save, so I'm going to kill it now so I don't kill it during a save, because that's how we lost all Surly Dev's work when he was collecting coins. I'm always thinking about Surly Dev. What'd you say?
We wouldn't want to do that again.
No. He's got like almost 10,000 coins. He breaks out. Yeah, you can't break out the drone. I just killed everything, buddy. We're running blind for a little bit. The only thing that still works is the sound player, the boombox, somewhat ironically. Okay, it's starting up. Okay, that was maybe premature. I guess I just wanted to see if it would build. We have no way really to talk to it yet.
True.
I think. Let's go look at connection. I was playing in this space. I've got an execute command, but I don't think I want to do that. What I want to do instead is I want to send some data over. I've got this suppressed volume here call, which from a granularity perspective, here comes
Surly
Surly
Dev
Dev.
is in the
Interesting.
house.
Because we didn't save the last data, we're going to see everybody's intro again. Is that what's going to happen? Or is it because Surly Dev ignored the first one? That's why. Surly Dev came in and suppressed his intro.
Suppressed. Yeah, I do remember. He definitely did.
But that suppression isn't
time.
saved. That decision to suppress today isn't saved. So I think we're only going to see it for, yeah, because we restarted. But that now means that maybe your bot will work. Will it or not? Let's see. Let's see if I can type in awesome.
Awesome.
Interesting. So that does work. Can I fly a drone? Yeah, I need a refresh to get the drone out, I bet. Let's refresh the drone game here.
Back to the code.
Back to the code. And now can I do a drone? I bet I can. I hope I can. There it is right there.
There it is.
Still loading. It's a little bit invisible.
Stealth drone initially.
Yeah.
Short-term stealth.
Okay, so now I want to communicate with this. So this is the SignalR part of the whole thing. I'm going to have to close it down and restart. So bear with me here as we get this, for folks who love to fly drones and things like that. I need to send some data. I want to communicate some commands over here. And I think, I want to call it like execute. I want to make it really kind of general purpose. Sound command is what I want it to do. Be like that. Because I really don't like having to come in and add a bunch of stuff every time, right? And I want to make kind of a generic kind of piece here that we can come in and we're going to call that execute sound command, command data, active back game, yes, yes. And then here, I want to call execute sound command on it. That's what I want to do there. So let's go declare that. And let's get it properly indented, and we'll stick it down here at the end, like that. I don't know if I want to do a throw new error, but I definitely want to do a console log, sending over the command data to it so we can take a look at it. Okay, and we're going to later deserialize this. It's going to be something we send across. Now, speaking of that data, let's talk about that data for a little bit. And let's get some music playing too while we're at it here. So Doesn't feel so in the middle of nowhere. Okay, let's go back to my sound, the music player. Let's declare that class here. I've got a class called theme. It just holds name and count. So that's all that's going on here when I create add songs. Inside add songs, it's going to say music.genre to push this. Let's rename genres to themes. Okay. Now I want to create that class that we're going to communicate with. Call it maybe a sound command.
Okay.
And I had a dream, and my dream said, Mark, create an enum. And so the enum, it said, was sound command type, maybe. And I'm going to throw in like volume up, volume down, suppress volume. Change theme. Play
suppress volume. Do you need a restore volume?
sound. No,
that
because suppress
automatic?
It'll be automatic. Suppress volume is going to include the time for how long it needs to be suppressed.
Okay.
So like when the sprinkles piece plays, right? It will detect the change that we're now playing this, and it'll say, okay, suppress volume for a certain amount of seconds.
I'm quite impressed with Sprinkle's ability to bob and weave there.
Yeah. This front overlay is insane what's going on these other pages. He's stretching. Look at what's going on. It's just crazy. Copperbeard is with us. So. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you think Chef Brent can help me out with? I'll totally get him on the phone and say, what is going on? Oh yeah, and now look at my main one. So look at this is my main one, which has been fine, is now messed up.
You have, yeah, oh.
See what's going on? I gotta now stretch it out manually so it'll fit and be in the right spot. All of this was working great. Sunday night, one change occurred and then rippled across multiple places, and now. All right, so I've got play to sound effect, sound file, I think. Something like that. Then I want to maybe change weather. So I want to have weather effects that are looping. And maybe like change room ambience. So this is like ultimately where I'm going to go with this. Something like this. So I figured...
Is there any form of layering that you're going to have here? So for example, can you change weather to thunderstorm, and then there's a thunderstorm going on in the background?
Yes.
But then you get thematic music over the top of that as well.
Exactly. So I've got a music player, but I'm going to create a weather machine player as well, and a room ambience player as well. So the room ambience might be like, or location ambience maybe is a better idea. Yeah. Change location ambience. So the idea is you could be at the beach in the rainstorm in a sad scene.
Yes.
That's the idea. And so these things are independent of each other. So my weather change is independent of my location change, right? Cool. And so, yeah, it is. I think it will be cool. And they'll all be overlaying each other. And I'll have individual volume controls on each one of these. So I wonder, though... Do I want to do this, or do I want to do two different enums? In other words, do I want to have individual volume controls like this to, hold on a second, stop.
Well, okay, so maybe there's a couple different ways to deal with this, because once you're down that route, you're now going to have to do a volume up, volume down for each of those main concepts, each of those layers. Yeah. What if you had a layered music player that understood that there were inherently layers within it, but didn't know what any of them were called? And it's kind of like a dictionary of music players almost. So when you say volume up, you could either just say everything, or you could specify the name of the music player that you were hoping to increase the volume of, and it would go to the dictionary, look for that particular one, and would change its volume.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a good design. I like it. C# Fritz is rating us with a party of 103 people.
We are being bombarded. It's a major raid. Welcome everybody.
Yeah.
You
guys have so Rory's so polite. All I was thinking of is, you have no business here. You have no business here on my show. You 103 people.
Yes, the last thing we want is an audience of any kind.
Right. No, Rory, what are we working on? You want to talk to him a little bit about what we're doing, just in general?
Okay. Yeah. So in the broad scheme of things, Mark has a second channel, Dragon Jumpers, perhaps, or something sounds very like it, on which he and several cohorts are going to be, and have indeed been, giving us a comedy Dungeons and Dragons experience, an extravaganza, you might say. And we've been building all manner of coding things in order to allow a dungeon master to control and augment this particular stream. It's very entertaining. It's very interesting. We have got spells. We have got classes of people. We've got weapons. We've got special effects. We've got the system that is effectively trying to map and control all of the background features. So, you know, when you play Dungeons and Dragons, someone's got to keep track of all the numbers. Well, we're hoping that nobody has to keep track of the numbers because our system will do that for you. Now, we're building a particular segment of this at the moment. We're building we've already got, I don't think you can see it at the moment, but we're certainly playing music in the background of our current stream. We've got a little boom box going on in the corner there, which allows us to change the mood of things, the genre of what's going on. So likewise, we want to have a similar facility for the Dungeon Master to thematically augment the situation that's going on. So, for example, to call up a thunderstorm and to have some background rain and lightning and whatever else might be going on. But equally at the same time, we're discussing the idea of layering that with some mood music. So creepy sort of scenario going on, and maybe lower the volume of the rain so it's just barely background. And then maybe having any number of other layers on top as well.
C# Fritz says, good afternoon, my friend. Welcome, C# Fritz. Johan B says, okay, bye. I got rid of Johan at least. Phew. That was a close one. I was really only worried about Johan. Look at what's going on here. What is that? Surly Dev, is that out there, sir, planting it?
Planting a garden.
He's planting a garden, flying out. He's stressing. Look at the stressing the machine a little bit. What do we got here? What's Surly Dev doing to my CPU? He's got it up at 82%. Yeah, he's docked it. Let's stress it out even more. Let's roll some dice here. I'll show you a little bit about what we're working on here. Here comes all the damage dice from Dungeons and Dragons game rolling out at once. Oh, look at the stretching. Hold on, let's go back. Let's go back over here so it's normal. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of CPU usage. There's my GPU at 100% right up there. I think once we get rid of all these flowers here, I suppose if I just did that. Is that right? Is that going to do it? Oops. That was the wrong one. That's the one I wanted to do right there. I got rid of the dragon overlay for a second here. One more time. Press it one more time without all the flower stuff. Let's see. There we go.
Those dice are very smooth, aren't they?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Even with all those effects, different dice, different numbers of sides, I guess in some cases. Actually, no.
No, these are all 12. Those are all D12s right there. So anyway, that's a little bit about what we're doing. We need your help. Ooh, look who's arrived. Janice Q7. Whoa!
Here, I have.
Oh no, look out for that! Oh, Yoda! You took out that guy. All right, Genescu 7's here. If you're wondering what's going on, those are some fanfares for folks who hang out in our chat room a lot. And so folks that hang out get a fanfare, and so that's a little bit of what's going on there. So yeah, Roy's talking about a little bit about what we're doing. We've got this stuff for a Dungeons and Dragons show. Let me get the drone game back up here again, get it to refresh itself. And that's what we're doing. We're working on a music player right now, a music player for changing thematic thematic groups of songs to play those for the Dungeons and Dragons game. Oh, look at this. It's bald bearded builder coming in. It's getting too serious. Is that what you're saying to me? Look, take that, Michael Jolly. Yeah. Take that, bald bearded builder. Getting too serious. Where's the taco intro? All right, so let's see what we want to do here. I want to go in and we're talking about just like what do we want to do here with regards to this. And Roy was suggesting a multiple layer kind of idea.
Yeah, your initial idea here was to list down all the commands that you'd want to send to a music player. All right, but then we realized that we might have more than one sort of layer to this music player, that we might have the sort of background noise, but also a themed piece of music layered over the top of that. And each one of those would need to have the independent controls for its volume potentially and play sound and play other sound.
Right. So we're talking about combining weather, ambience for a location, and thematic music elements all at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, I think that the Pudding says, why aren't we using the YouTube API to make this playlist? Just wondering. Because I'm licensing the songs for this, and that's why. I've got licensed songs to bring this stuff down. I've got them all collected, so I've listened to the songs. I've said, these are the ones I want to use. That's why. I don't know. And I think, in general, if there's a better way to do something and I'm not doing it, it's probably the general answer to the question is because I'm uninformed, because I don't know. Is the answer I would maybe throw at you. I don't know. You know that we've talked about that before, right?
Disclaimer! Mark doesn't know what he's doing!
Yeah, that's all true. So we were talking about this, right? The thing is, though, Rory, is this. The music player, this is going to basically say, it's going to be picking random songs and picking them and playing them. And just making sure it hasn't played them in like the last 5 or 10 minutes. That's what it's going to do. So it's always going to be a different kind of playlist that's going to come out of here.
Sure.
But the weather and the weather and the location ambience is a loop.
Right. So they're more intentional, more specific.
It's one file.
Sort of general background.
Right.
Yeah.
It's each of those have one file. So I'm not exactly sure how I want to solve that yet. I think it's maybe we change this into this all-encompassing, sound player here that has the ability to deal with, or maybe stick this in another class. But right now, just from the standpoint of communication.
Well, there is also another argument that says that, okay, if there's only a maximum, really, of 3 layers, do we really need a thing that is going to multiply? You're not going to call another one of these into existence ever more than those 3 times. Right. Is it necessary to go the whole hog and genericize in that direction? It may not be worth it.
I think what happens is we genericize into the direction of the sound. I'm sorry, of the weather and the location ambiance players, because those are both very similar. But they're very different from the music player. So what I'm going to do is I'm just commenting out these pieces right here in the enum for now. We've got change theme, place sound file. I've got in here too because it's a generic sound command type. We can maybe comment this out for now as well. We'll bring this out in soon though, because I want to be able to remotely play a particular sound file, because then I'll be able to share. I'll be able to share a Dropbox folder with my dungeon masters. They'll be able to throw a file in there, and then in the chat window they'll be able to type in like PS for play sound, a space, and then the name of the sound file they want to play, if they wanted to control it that way. So that's kind of where I want to go. So here's my sound command type. So right here we're going to have we'll call this command, maybe command type, maybe just type there, and we are going to have, I think, some data. I think we're going to have some numeric data. Like that. So that could be the volume if we're going to change the volume. It could be the number of seconds if we're suppressing the volume. Does that make sense? I'm kind of thinking of some generic stuff. And if we want to change the theme, we need some string data. We need to have what the new theme is going to be. So I think I'm going to just type in, say, stir data. I don't know. Instead of creating specific commands and descendants, I think I'm just going to make it, this is kind of what I'm playing with. I want to make all of these public. Using the CodeRush PB template here to get the public out here, like that. So now we got our sound command. And now I want to go over into C#. And I think I want to do it out here on my D&D app side of things right over here, which is on another monitor. Let me grab that and bring it over. And this is where we want to send the data down. This is what we want to do. We want to kind of want to do it in a similar way to what's going on here. Let's do this. Let's come up here and create a new class. We're going to create a class that's similar to the one we just were looking at there. Sound command. Let's go grab its pieces here. Let's grab that sound command type. And let's get this. It's basically got an enum of that type. We'll call it type. And I want to, what is it not like about this? Oh, not public here. Okay, there we go. All right, and then I want to have a string data, which is called, what is it, stir data, like this. I just want to get the names the same so JSON serialization can bring them across. So I've got numeric data and string data right here. And then I'm going to do, I think a double. It's going to be numeric data, and this type should be lowercase. And the class name should be sound command. So now that will allow us to serialize on both sides. Let's move this to its own file. Move that type to its own file. Okay. Actually, I want to go back here and I want to say, make an important comment here. Changes here should be kept in sync with sound command type in music player.ts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And similarly, I want to take that and I want to go back over here and I wanted to do this. Changes here should be kept in sync with sound command type in sound command type.cs. Like that. So just those are together there.
Given that those are our command types, up, down, suppress volume, and change theme, we said obviously yes that there should be numeric parameters in some cases and string parameters in others.
Yeah.
When it's a numeric, do we expect to use fractional parts of numbers? So volume up and down, I guess, are the obvious potential there. What's the sort of max and min volumes that we typically have? Because I know that in our volume command, we have integers.
Goes from 1 to 10.
Our boombox.
Goes from 1 to 10, as I recall. And they're integers. Set volume 2. We need that as well as one of our commands, I think. Hold on, let's go back over here. Put that in there. Set volume 2. Okay. So we can, maybe it's just set volume. Okay. Next we need to put the SignalR pieces in and do that. We're probably, this app's running now, so we're gonna have to stop that to make that change. maybe before I do it, let's find at least the place where we want to make that change. If we look at connection, did I add it yet? I think I did. I forget what I called it. It's somewhere in here. It's not set press volume. Execute sound command is what I've called it. Okay. So let's look for this everywhere inside this running app. And then we're going to find it and we're going to implement an execute sound command right next to it, wherever that is. And now we're going to have to kill it to make these changes. So let's go ahead and close that down. Oops, I'm doing the wrong one. Not execute sound command. I wanted this one. Okay, here we go. Here we go. There's one. Two.
For anyone who's not familiar with what we're doing, we actually have, I guess you call it a three-part system, where you have the initiator of any given command, which can be, if you've got a stream deck in front of you, Mark, that can issue the instructions. Obviously, we can issue instructions, as some of you can see in the chat window, to control things like drones and what have you. Those commands then go to a SignalR running server, which will receive the information and then relay it back out to whomever needs it. So in the case of the drone commands, it obviously goes to a drone game, which is being rebroadcast out through OBS so that we can see the results of those drones moving around. So in this particular case, we're also going to be controlling, I forget where the music player actually resides. Is that also in the back game?
Yes, we're going to put that in the back game is where we're putting it.
So the back game will then receive that information from SignalR and will increase or decrease the volume. And again, that gets broadcast out via OBS as well. So it's a very interesting setup the way it works. It's quite efficient, really, with a slight caveat that we do occasionally lose our connection with SignalR.
Yeah, it's not bad, though. It's not bad. All right, I am, let's see, what are we doing here? We're going to do the same thing here. Pop that there, there, and there. That's all good. Execute sound command. That's what we want there. And I'm restarting the things back up again from the now that the SignalR is there. Let's come back over here.
Surly, very good there. Sneaking in for the third time this time.
Yeah, but he's not.
Sure.
No, he's good. He's good because the last time we played him, and I think it was saved when it changed.
Okay.
And I think that's it. We just need to decide where we're going to call it from. We're going to access it through our Hubtastic base station here. That's what we're going to do. So we'll need to add a button or something to do that.
Yep.
Let me refresh the drone game. What else? Do I want to refresh the... I don't think I want to do the overlays yet. We're going to get to those in a second. Let's see if I can get some music up. There it comes. So this music is this is the boombox here. We're going to turn that up in a bit when we test it. We next have to make it so that we can actually test something, so we can play it out and see if it's working.
Indeed.
The
hub was Hubtastic base station. Junicus was asking about that. Yeah, we had a moment when we named that.
I like it.
Nice.
Are you making fun of my name, Rory?
Me? No.
Yeah, that's the name for it. What's cool about it, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it's kind of a hub kind of thing.
Nice function name.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. But the cool thing about things like this, I have a couple of these, is they're super memorable. So I totally know the name of the class to go in and play with it. I've got I'll give you another example of that over here in overlays.
Just so you're aware, Mark, the nice function name animation that played just wiped you off the stream
Yeah.
entirely.
All right, I'll bring me back. No worries. Here I am.
There you are.
Okay, so if we come in here and we say look for please, I have a function out here because I want to be able to find it really quickly that starts with the word please. Please roll dice. And that's another example of this kind of mnemonic naming where I'll sometimes I don't do this a lot, but sometimes for pieces that are necessarily important, and I can't come up with a good name with it, I'll do something like this so I know I have a quick way of finding it. So there it is right there. Please roll dice. Okay. I'm trying to think of the scenario in which we want to test this. I think, hold on, does it fail sometimes? That function is so polite.
It's
No.
an interesting reason to name something in that way, because if there is the slight possibility of, it's like try parse, yeah? Give it a go, see if it works.
Well, you know, everything with the dice rolling, we're kind of working on a, there's a potential for failure with everything. For example, I might throw out so many dice at once that we're waiting for something to happen. We can't roll yet, so we queue it up. So there's a bit of that there, but I named it please because the dice rolling layer had become, I think, sufficiently complicated, sophisticated enough that I wanted to mark the entry point for all the dice rolling kinds of pieces with that name.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I did. So that's that. Okay, we got this thing that we can test in, and we can unmute this to test it. Right now we have nothing really going on. We have no commands that we're sending across, and I don't think we're intercepting them yet, but let's at least get started there where we can send a command across. So let's figure that out. What is the best way to do it? Should I think what I want to do is I want to change this. I want to make it so I'm going to hit a button on my Stream Deck, and it's going to send a message out, and it's going to listen for it and then act on it. So let me close this. So yeah, we're all over the place today in terms of apps and changes and code and things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to my D&D app. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to look at my Stream Deck commands folder. This is where I have a number of commands that I can execute from the Stream Deck, and I'm going to create a new one here for changing the music, I think. Just thinking about this for a second. Yeah, no, I think I'm good. Let's do this. Let's bring up the Stream Deck software to edit it. And we're going to start by creating the button in here, is what we're going to do. Sound effects. Maybe let's just call this sound. Nothing really in here yet. I'll kill that. Throw a new chat message out. Wait, not a...
Juniper says he's got a Stream Deck that he wants to use for local things, but hasn't figured out what commands he wants yet. It's an interesting idea, actually. I'd not thought of having a... I guess it's sort of a purpose-dedicated, or config-based, purpose-dedicated keyboard, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you pretty much you're sat there right now configuring a function. Not just I'm assuming, do these graphics physically show up on the device itself when you when you actually got them in front of you?
Whatever graphics.
So
I
the
put
little
here.
LCD screens, then, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So you drag a graphic in place, and then you assign a command.
Yeah, it's basically one screen, but the buttons are clear and they show through the part of the screen right behind them.
Gotcha.
That's what's going on.
See, that's pretty nice. But I hadn't considered the idea of doing it for something other than actual streaming. So, you could assign it to almost doing anything, I presume, on the PC, provided you can get that information sent to a listening service.
Yes, you can. You can do anything. Travel, and I want to call this travel in towns. So this is music for traveling in towns.
Yep.
And I think this is going to be set change theme. And I'm going to pass in the word travel. Okay, that's what I think I'm going to do.
Surly Dev says he's going to take a Stream Deck and maybe assign debug functions to it. So step into, step over, step out, etc. Toggle breakpoint.
Yeah.
An interesting idea.
Yeah, you know, yeah. There's kind of cool things. There are definitely cool things that you can do there. All right, so let's change this one to battle. And we're going to change theme over here to battle. Then we're going to have a volume up and a volume down, I think. Or maybe a volume low. And we'll say set volume 2. Set theme volume 2. That's what I'm thinking. We'll get pictures for these buttons in here. Volume normal. And we'll say set volume to, I don't know, 4. We'll play with that. We'll see what it looks like. I think I just want this, because really the Dungeon Master is going to be, and then loud. And what I really would love is if there was a delay in the transition. So it is if it faded in to between wherever it was into the low or the normal.
So you'll fade from low to medium. So the transition from 1 to through 2, 3, 4, and then hit 5, and stop at that because that's the desired speed, volume, what have you.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about maybe arranging these buttons like this, and we'd have cool pictures for those. We've got town, battle. We have suspense. So change theme to suspense, and then we have one other that we've created, I think, called bittersweet. Like that. Okay, so those are our buttons. Okay, that means we need a function called change theme, and another one that's called set theme volume 2. We need 2 functions that we need to create. So got this regex max match in here, and I'm always like, wait, what am I doing here? Does it match this?
Regex are those sort of psychic things that lead you into them and go, hang on, okay, no matter when I did this, I really need to check it again.
Yeah, I don't know.
Make sure it still does what I imagined it did when I created it.
Yeah. So let's do this. Change volume. Here's the thing, though. It's easier to match. Here's the thing. To be fair, it's easier to match this than it is to match the putting it in parens. Set theme volume 2, that's easier to match. I might just do this because, you know, for the sake of, you know.
I really liked the regex wrapper that you had in Code Rush Classic.
You're welcome. I did that.
It was kind of under the hood. Nobody was terribly aware of it, but it was such a clever idea.
Yeah, it was very beautiful. It was beautiful. I basically allowed you to create aliases for regex expressions. So you could then have essentially a name. It's like a function call with regex. It's kind of what it was,
and you could build little individual pieces and name them, and they would work. And then you could build other pieces built on those pieces. It was perfect architectural analogy, really.
Thank you. So change volume 2. So now it's going to look like this. If we find a match, we're going to look for start of the line. What's the SV? That was something else anyway. So we're going to say the words change volume 2 plus a space, 1 or more spaces, followed by some group of /W, which is words, right? And fairness, we could, I think, change this to a D for identifiers, is what we could do. Now, I'm going to kill this right here, because that was one of the specifics of the other. Let's move type to file. We're going to say we don't need ability, we don't need this. What we do need is we need our new volume. So we're going to say, I think VI, variable type int, volume, new volume, like that. And we're going to come down here, and if it's a success, Then we're going to say if int.try parse of something. Did I lose Rory? Switch to machine number 1 or number 2, something like that. Rory, are you with us? Looks like I'm going to click on end call and try and get him back here. Are we together, Rory? Yep. All right. Excellent. Rotosirotisa sounds like cheating. What? I'm going
to refer to the regex description we were giving earlier.
Oh,
by pieces. But do you know what? That's the kind of cheating that really pays off.
Okay. It's like, okay.
And nobody gets hurt with that particular variety.
All right. So let's see. We want to try parse this out new volume. Then we're going to say return true. Then we got it. Match groups of 1. What's going on here? Can I convert from a group to a string? Dot value, I think. That's what I think it's going to look like. Set a breakpoint here. And then we want to say set theme volume to the new volume. Dungeon Master app is of type iDungeon Master app over here. So we want to come in and declare this now. So we need a new method here, set theme volume, vi new volume, like this. Okay. And then we want to go implement that. So let's go tab to next reference on this other one and see where we takes us. Takes us here. Put that new method here, vi again, and new volume. And let's set a breakpoint here. Okay, there's one of them. The other thing we want to do the second one. Oops, wrong solution. So we've got to change volume 2 command. And I want to change this to change theme volume 2. Let's change this as well to change theme volume 2. Maybe just change theme volume. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Then we'll go out here, update those as well. Change theme volume to 10. Okay, second one we need to do is change theme. We need to change theme 1. So let's take this whole thing, duplicate that. It's going to be our change theme command. It's going to be a string, a new theme, like that. That's going to be, by the way, this is going to be not set theme volume, just going to be set theme. And down here, it's going to be change theme. And this is going to be a word, so it's going to be, some name. Oh, look at this. That was a bug. I need to get rid of that there and this here. There's no player specifier at the end.
True.
Okay. And now, I don't need to set target player here either. Okay. Actually, hold on. Let me bring it back down here. There's a Coderish thing called combine conditionals. I wonder if I can combine. Oh, look at that. I can combine the nested. That's what I wanted right there. Make that work like that.
It's a lovely little trick there. Takes 2 nested ifs, which are effectively being anded together, and allows you to combine them into a single line, and works particularly well in cases where those particular clauses are fairly short, reducing the height of your code and making it overall, hopefully, more readable.
Yeah, that's right. That's inside Coderish, by the way, kids. If you want a copy of that, let us know. Let's rename file to match type. Let us know in the chat room if you need a copy of Coderish and you don't have one. Okay, change theme volume command, change theme command. There's my new theme. So got to set it. There's no more try parse. It's just now the new theme is equal to this. I think.
Scroll a little bit there, Mark. Fred's just obscuring a little of the code there.
So that's what I think it looks like. We'll step through this as well to make sure our regex is correct and that the group number is correct. I think it will be. I think this is going to be group 1 or 0, and this is going to be group 1, I think. All right, we need to declare this. So let's go do that. Let's drill into iDungeon Master app.
It's been a while since I worked with regular expressions, but I believe group 0 is the whole of the expression. Is that right? Rather than any individual piece that you're picking out. So
That
one
might be it. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so there's my set theme. Let's go tab to next reference on set theme volume. Why is it not finding the other one? That's weird. Do we have a code rush issue now? I think we do. Let me go see, double check. The tab next reference here not found because it's not public. Is that what's going on? Is that my problem? That was my problem. Okay, so my fault, not code rushes. Okay, so we need a new method here. That right there, VS for variable type string, new theme, like that, make it public, set a breakpoint there. All right, let's run. And don't
It's the
forget,
other part of how we work. We like running with edit and continue because it gives us extra information with which to develop our code.
Yep. All right, I'm going to right-click this, clear the console history. Don't forget, we're going to be ultimately trying to get that player inside here playing something. Is it going to work? I don't know. Probably not. We'll probably work our way through it, make it work. We'll see what happens here. I'm going to hit initialize player data. I'm going to grab my Stream Deck. Let me move some stuff out of the way. Here's my Stream Deck right here. And I'm going to hit treble and towns button. Wow. So we got that, but we didn't get a breakpoint.
No.
I think I know why. Let's drop this down. Unlike most of the architecture I build, this particular aspect of the architecture requires registration. These commands, pretty sure. Let's do this. Change theme command. Let's move this to its own file. We got to register these, pretty sure. I failed to do that.
Yes, because some of our registrations have happened via a certain amount of reflection, where we introspect ourselves and find things that match certain patterns and therefore don't have to manually do so.
Yeah.
However, if this particular part of the system wasn't retrofitted to do that, then sure enough, there you go. See, an explicit list of commands added to those understood by this part of the system. Okay, fair enough.
All right, so now we've added registration. We've done it. Sorry, kids. It's not the most awesome architecture for extension, but we have that in other places of the code. So, it's kind of like we know what we're doing in some places.
We can provide evidence that we've done it correctly somewhere.
Yeah. All right, let's run again. See if we can get it to work this time. How you doing, baby?
I'm not good.
Do you mind if we all look through you again? Can you come here? Here comes my wife, if you haven't met her.
So cool.
This is Karen.
What?
What's going on? Just seeing right through her like that.
Wait,
How you doing, baby?
Good. How are you?
Good.
I'm super frustrated. You know why?
No.
I'm trying to.
All right. I know what this is leading to.
What?
There you go. How much do you need, honey? What the?
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
Rory's like, danger, Will Robinson. I'm just telling a joke. It's just a joke about the patriarchy. Oh no, the show is over. We got to stop it.
I'm trying to get your daughter signed up for Instagram and Facebook, and it's telling me all the things. She is awesome. Who pressed that button?
Retro CRT did that.
Thank you, Retro CRT.
Yeah,
it's
both
like
vanished now as a result.
I don't know, whatever. I'm just having for non-programmers. This is ridiculous. Now I have to go set up Google Classrooms. Super frustrating. I hate all of it. And then do a Zoom art class.
Copperbeard is like, what's Mark done? What's he done the whole show? You saw the whole thing go down. What are you doing? What are you doing? Honey, it's just a sweet joke. Just sweet joke. Hey, you want a lunch date today?
Yeah.
With me?
No, I'm teaching.
Oh, okay. All
You
right.
have your stupid show. Then I have to actually do something that matters.
Judika says, I think there's a problem there. How
Fight
are
words.
guts not spilling out? I mean, there's a hole in her chest. Yeah.
I am a magic person. It's like that movie. What's the movie?
I don't know. Yeah, it's like
yes, Meryl Streep and
Copperbeard is like stupid show. Yeah, who said that? Who said that? Copperbeard, he thought it was a great show until now. He's all of a sudden, she's right. It's a stupid show.
no Goldie Hawn, Meryl Streep, and and she has a whole
Death becomes her,
Thank you.
says Roy.
Yep.
Roy's like the most.
Thank you, Rory.
Roy's the most awesome software I've ever built. You know he's not a real person. He's just software I've built in my ear. Unfortunately, it's only available during certain times of the day.
Yeah. It's funny you should mention that.
Oh, no, you got to go?
Yeah. I think
All
I
right.
found
Well, you've been awesome, Roy. Thank you so much.
That's all right, mate. I will see you tomorrow, same kind of time.
Yeah.
We'll do some more awesome.
Wait, what did you say, Karen?
Nothing.
Okay, nothing. All right.
He's awesome.
There you go. You're awesome.
Cheers, bud.
All right, buddy.
We'll see you soon.
All right, bye.
Awesome.
Yeah, Roy's always awesome. I mean, I know the movie, but darn, he even recalled the name, says Judicus. Yeah, Roy is awesome. Roy's totally awesome. Okay, let's get back over here and try to get some of this complete. So we're actually playing some music. Wouldn't that be nice? I think it would be really nice. Okay, so now we're running. App is running. There it is right there. And now let's try hitting it and see if we get a breakpoint. I'm going to hit, I don't know, Travel in Sounds again. We get a breakpoint? No breakpoint. I'm going to set one. I don't care. I'm going to set one. We want to go to, I want to do it right here on matches. So this is for the change theme command. I'm going to hit the button again. Do we get a breakpoint? You get a breakpoint now. So what's going on with this? The message is what? Change theme, travel. I'm not an expert in regex, but that looks like it should match. Pudding says, bye-bye, Rory. Save our lives again soon. Everybody, Rory's really a very, very, very clever Alexa. Yeah. Pudding says, yeah, they don't make Rory's anymore. They don't. Rory's awesome. Okay, here we go. Match success. Oh, here's my problem, though. It did match it, but I didn't return true. And for some reason, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really have the breakpoint till I get out to here. But anyway, now if we run it, I think we're going to be okay. There we go. Nice. So now we've got set theme. Okay. So now we wanted to create a new sound command. That's what we want to do. Like that. We want to say sound command dot type. Whoops. Is equal sound command type dot change theme. And then we want to say sound command dot stir data is equal to new theme. Like that. Then we want to go to our Hubtastic base station. And we want to call, what is it, change theme? No, execute sound command. There. And we want to pass in a string version of that. What is it, something like JSON dot. I don't remember what it is. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to tap next reference on Hubtastic base station till I find a some sort of JSON call. Here it is, JSON convert is what I was looking for. So do this, do that, and do this, like that. Okay, so we're going to take those steps, like that, and remember we've got this running instance. I'm not sure if we're still connected via SignalR or not, but I'm hoping to see a console log message out here as I execute this line of code. So that's executed, nothing. But I'm not giving up hope. Let me clear my breakpoint a second. Let's now focus on this space. Let's do a refresh here. Let's do initialize player data. That's going to, and we should see evidence the SignalR is connected right there. Oh, interesting. What's interesting is this didn't go away when I clicked on initialize player data over here. Right? Yeah, it's like it's not connected. One more time. Let's see if I may have to do a restart of this too. Sorry. Initialize player data. Nope, not going away. I think I'm gonna have to start and stop this. I think. Let's try that. There we go. Got the initialization going. Okay, so now it's initialized.
HQD.
Let's let me hit the button. So I'm going to hit travel. I hit it. Clear this breakpoint, I think. Okay, run that. Did we get anything? There we go. Look at that. All right, getting closer. So now the SignalR's traveled across. So I've gone from my Stream Deck to my WPF app, and now to the overlay, passing it this command data. So we see what the type is there. That's going to be changing the theme, and our stir data is travel. Okay. So that's what we've got now. Now let's implement that code. Okay, I'm going to go over to the overlays. We want to go to connection. That's where it comes in. Execute sound command. Goes to active back game. Execute sound command. This is where that console log is coming in right here. Now we want to basically JSON convert this the other way. Let's go look for some example code that's already doing that. JSON parse is what we're looking for. What is running the overlay? Vanilla JavaScript, TypeScript, or do you have a front-end framework there? It is essentially TypeScript is what's going on. And it's sitting inside of, well, here it's sitting inside of a browser, right here. But on the live stream, it is sitting inside of OBS. So you see the drone up there, Retro CRT, that is coming from the overlays that are happening there. Okay. All right. Okay, so I want to come down here and I want to do something like this. Let me change this to a void. I want to return. This is going to be that, and this is going to be of type sound command. Okay. Now I've got my sound command, and I'm here. If sound command dot type equals sound command type dot change theme, then we're going to say music, music player dot change active genre. Let's refer to change active genre and change genre. What's change genre do? Nobody's calling this. put these close together and compare these visually here. Interesting. So we call change active genre from change genre. I am super inclined to say this is private right here. And so we've only got change genre from the outside. Okay, let's try that. We'll say change genre. And we're going to pass in, let me scroll this up so you can see it, the stir data. Like that. All right. So now we got at least something we can step into and we can set a breakpoint on. Let's refresh. Right over here. Refresh it. Then we can set a breakpoint on the code we've just written. And step in and see what's going on. Okay, I'm going to hit the button, travel and town. So I'm going to hit battle instead. So I'm hitting battle. So now we're going to be here. There it is. It's change theme. Stir data is battle. Good. Okay, change active genre. Oops, didn't step into it. So we've got this music player, we've got the song, so it looks like, but we're not, I don't know if we're going to actually be playing anything yet. I think we need to make a call to actually play the active song. So play next song. That's what I think I want to call. That I think has a chance of playing some music. Let's hit a breakpoint here again. We're going to keep running it because we can't do edit and continue with JavaScript, Typescript. So we'll need to refresh. Okay, I'm going to hit suspense. And we're going to hit run, clear this breakpoint here. And now we're in here, play next song. Let's see if we get anything here. This is, wait, what? No, no, no. I don't want play next song. I want play random song is what I want. Yeah, that's not what I want. I don't want play next song. Okay, that's for interrupting is what this is. For interrupting an existing song. That's what this is. Let's go back. Jump in here. I want it to be play random song. Like that. I'm going to hit run, continue, refresh one more time. All right, let's hit the button. Suspense. I didn't see a breakpoint. Because we didn't go in here, I think. Hold on. Let me turn off our music. We have suspense playing. Interesting. I don't know why I didn't get the breakpoint though, actually. Now that I think about it, after a refresh, we should have hit here. right, let's get the volume. Let's get those working. Hit volume loud. So the volume is coming in here. We want something that looks a little bit like that. Let's take these two lines of code and extract those and do its own method. Call it just execute like that. And then up here, like that. All right, there's the code here. Let's run it. Okay. Now in overlays, here we want to have something like this with command type. Also, command type is equal to set volume. Then we're going to say music player dot set volume 2 and pass in the numeric data. Is that going to work? That might work on its own. All right. So let's refresh here. Okay. Let's hit battle. Do we hear sound? No, I do not hear sound for battle. What's wrong with that? Do I have a bug where I have to hit it twice? Or create something a second time? That's not working. Let's go. Set a breakpoint in here. Why is it not finding change genre here? Let's get the regular Coder's music coming back up here again, or debugging this. I thought for sure connection, execute sound command, change genre. It's not finding it. Why is it not finding change genre? It's static. Okay, I got a bug to report here. Hold on. Tab to next reference, issue in Typescript file. Let's hide Fred here so you can see what I'm typing in. We're going to push changes immediately. Commit those changes. So we're dogfooding CodeRush inside Visual Studio, and if we see an issue, something along those lines, we report it so the devs can take a look at it, which is what I'm going to do right now. Let's come in here, report the issue, and we'll talk about it. So here I am inside of my code, and I'm on this method called change genre. I hit the tab key, and tab key just inserts tabs inside of it. If I come back over here into Dragon Back Game, I can see it's a static method. Same thing here, tab key does this. Set volume 2, what happens there? Same thing happens with set volume 2. I can't get it to it. Is it because it's static? Nope, here it works. But it's only finding these. It's not finding the reference here. So that doesn't work. But if I'm here and I drill in, right there, I can drill into it, right? So go to definition, does work. So tap to next reference inside TypeScript on what looks like a static reference. Looks like it may have an issue there. Let's go into source tree here. Let's add a new tag for that. We'll call this bug TTNR issue in TypeScript. Like that, push the tag, get that out there. And let's report the issue, close up that issue so the devs can see that. We're going to say wait, do I have that on the clipboard already? Yeah, there you go. TTNR issue and TypeScript file. Boom. So that closes it up. So now the devs have a link to this part of the show. And devs, you can come out here and download that code there to have the exact code I had when the problem occurred. Right there, TTNR issue TypeScript. Copy link address. Let's get that over here so I can follow up and give the devs that link as well. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get this, figure out what's going on with the sound player. Guess I'm gonna have a breakpoint here. And just in case, I'm gonna refresh. Initialize player data. Maybe it wasn't because I didn't initialize player data. Maybe there's some initialization that was required. Also, yeah, it doesn't play. It may not play because I didn't interact with it. All right, so let's do this. Let's hit battle. Wait, before we do that, let's turn off CodeRush music. All right, that's going away. Let's hit battle. Well, I get in here. Change genre. There's no next music player. Then we're going to create the next music player. Is there this? No, there's not. So let's do that. Let's create, play random song and run. I wonder if it was because I didn't interact with it. Let's set the volume to loud. Dare I? Here comes the volume command. Act on new volume. Wow. Low. There's low and normal. Cool. Low. Loud. Normal. Let's go to suspense. Now here's the, we don't have a change. We haven't tested, there's two things we haven't tested. We haven't tested what happens when one song ends and the next one goes. So we kind of need to figure that out. Junicus is asking, do you happen to know off the top of your head if the 49.99 license is perpetual one for a particular build? I'm not sure what you're talking about. What license? Or is that purely subscription? Are you talking about elements.envato.com, which is what I'm talking about, which is where I'm getting my music from? Or are you talking about YouTube, which I thought was free licensed music? Oh, Code Rush. I'm sorry. Dadoy. That's perpetual for one particular build, and it's a subscription for 1 year. But, dude, you can get free copies of it right now. Let me give you a free copy. And you can stop with all these ridiculous questions here. Hold on a second. Let me get over to... Give me a second. Steam free. Okay, there we go. Junicus. Am I in a... Here we go. Here comes your information. I'm sending you on the... if you go look at the... go look at your whispers, Junicus. You should see a whisper from me right now with instructions on how you can get a free copy Code Rush. So now it's all like, yeah. It's now it's not a question anymore of what the price is. But yeah, if you want to get it for other people, that's what the answer is to that question. All right, so change genre. I've got the breakpoint here. Oh, you know what I just realized happened while we were talking? One song ended, a second one started. We were in a different song. Okay. I'm going to maybe change these buttons a little bit here. Based on what I'm hearing in my ears, I'm going to change normal volume to a 5 is what I'm going to do. Let's just hit it again. Okay, it goes up a little bit. And maybe volume loud would be an 8 instead of a 10. We won't go crazy on it. So here comes volume loud. Better. And then low. Maybe low is going to be a 3. What does it feel like to you out there? Does that... Here's volume low. Seems about the same. That's 3. That's our 5. That's our 8. All right. So it seems like our player goes from one song to another, no problem. Now we got to figure out what happens when we change genres, because I think we're going to have a problem. That's what music's sounding good is what Zero says. Here's the normal volume. 8 is comfortable. Yeah, good. Okay, this is super cool. All right, this sounds like the end of the song. Let's listen for a... Okay, so it's not bad. The fade in and fade out probably did not happen. Well, one of two ideas on that. Either because there's a bug or because the audio had extra white space at the end of it, extra silence at the end, which I've seen. Let's see what happens if we change genres. So right now, I think we're in battle. Let's change to suspense. And step into that and see what that code looks like. So, ooh, the next music player was the one that was playing it. That's not good. Okay, so we need code that switches over the next to the first is what we need to do. Cancel future songs. Next is this. Yeah, that's a bug. We call this one cancel. Expiration date is now. Yeah, we're in. I bet it just stops and we don't hear anything if I run it. Yeah, that's not good. Bittersweet. Yeah, so we need to rethink this. Oops, I wanted to get inside change genre. And yeah, so we need to rethink this right here. I think I'm going to take a break though, and I think we'll resume working on this tomorrow. Let's go see who else is out there streaming right now. And we'll go raid over to whoever's out there. But thanks for being with us today. I appreciate that. We were kicking some good code butt today, I think. All right, we're going to send you over to Bald Bearded Builder right now. We'll start that raid. Yeah, I saw Brian was out there too. I'm throwing you a BBB. We'll do it. Tell him I said hi, and we'll see you tomorrow.